Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTB LP, St. Petersburg. Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
Hello, St. Petersburg. Hello, Tampa Bay. How we doing, beaches? Happy Friday, Radio St. Pete. This is the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show, and we are up next.
Hey, I'm Damon Fowler, and nothing gives me the blues more than listening to the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show.
All right. Happy Friday, folks. My name is Mark, and this is the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. It's September 1st already.
Wow.
And we are coming to you live as we do every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. from our Treehouse Studio, which is located in the historic Jungle Prada neighborhood of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yes. And we're still here.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you for checking us out on either Radio St. Pete online or on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where what?
Local music lives.
There you go.
You guys are so cool.
Shut up. So,
I don't know why we always do that so slow. Local music lives.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's
good. It's
local
good.
music lives.
Lots of energy.
Yeah.
Very, very
Would it be
exciting.
better if we went, where local music lives?
Maybe. Do a little jump or
Maybe
something.
we should start doing it in a different language. I don't know any other language.
I was going to say,
Never
so.
mind. So, Steph, it seems to me that for the last month and a half, we have been inundated with special guests here on the show.
Yes.
And tonight is no different for us. Tonight is probably my favorite special guest because in the studio tonight, folks, is our boy Ty Ginn. Our boy Ty Ginn,
Hi,
our
hello.
son of 33 years. Is
Ooh, don't say that.
Yeah, shh.
That's not cool.
That's not cool.
Well, he is joining us on the show this evening for the first time in a long time. Ty, I was trying to think about it today. When was the last time that you were on the show? And I was like, has he even been on the show since we've lived in this house?
Yeah, the last time I was on the show, I had to share a mic with Jesse.
Okay. All right. So it was one of the times Jesse came to town.
And that was the one where it wasn't recording from our microphones.
Oh, right.
It was recording from the computer.
Oh.
And so I couldn't load that show to the archives
So lost forever.
because, well, no, I still have it.
Cursed.
But
right.
but instead of when we do our music and the promos and all of that, instead of recording that, it recorded our off
Okay.
mic
right. Okay.
conversation.
Oh, nice. Great.
Yeah. So
That may have been funnier.
It may have been funnier.
that one
but,
may be the first
but
one
that's-
I throw up on YouTube.
But
Yeah.
that's also when you get yourself in trouble because you end up, it never fails for me, me and my mouth, that I will inevitably say something about somebody that I shouldn't say. And I'm always thinking that, they can't hear me. But that's a perfect example of how you get caught.
Right.
If this was like a federal case, I could be going to jail.
They'd have to catch you first.
They'd have to catch me first, right? So anyway, folks, in the studio this evening, it's my blushing bride, Steph, our boy Ty Ginn, and me.
Also known as Crash Havoc.
Crash Havoc.
Yeah.
Right, from his death metal days.
which I'm trying to get back into that.
You know what?
We'll
I saw
see.
something.
We'll see.
I saw something that you posted on Facebook. Said, "Are there any drummers out there?" So, are you trying to form another band?
Slowly.
Are you trying to form it yourself, or is this like a conglomeration where you're trying to? You've already spoken to somebody and said, "Hey."
No, I wish, but no. I'm
No, just you.
starting from scratch.
Is
Cool.
it going to be another death metal band, or is it going to be now you're
Probably-
going to a ska punk or
Well, I mean, I wouldn't hate that, but this will probably be more thrashy,
thrashy?
but probably still death metal.
What's an example? If you can give me an example between, what's the difference between death metal and thrashy? What would?
Okay, so Cannibal Corpse
Okay.
would be death metal,
Okay,
and then Slayer,
would be thrashy.
yeah.
Okay,
So like diet death metal.
okay, I got you. So
Okay.
that's what you're looking more into.
Yeah.
Now, will you be playing bass or will you be playing guitar?
Guitar, and I might be yelling about stuff. We'll
Okay,
Oh.
all
We'll
right.
see how it goes.
Back to singer.
Yeah.
Possibly being singer. All right, I dig
Nice.
that.
Although
I
I
love
would
it.
rather just play guitar, but whatever.
Well,
Whatevs.
Look, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're on board.
Yeah, we'll support you.
Friday night shows, we'll broadcast live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for crying out soft, I think we only missed one of your shows back in the death metal days.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there for all of them.
All-
and we did the show for some of them.
yeah.
Yep.
And loved every minute of it.
It was a hoot.
Truly did. Didn't realize how much I missed it
Those were the days, my friends.
until we went out on Sunday.
Yeah, it's
And it was like, oh, the bug.
Yeah.
The bug is there.
It's always so cool to see live music, you know what I mean? And one of the great things about downtown St. Pete, or this whole St. Pete, Tampa Bay area, is a lot of great venues to see live music and a lot of different options that you have as far as musical genres.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of music. You can see blues, you can see rap shows, you can see thrash metal, you can see death metal, you can see punk. What we
death
went
metal
to.
capital of the world.
There
right
you
here.
go. That's it.
You know, so it just,
I heard Jay Kolb say that like last week that it was the death metal capital of the world,
a couple of weeks
Tampa
ago,
Bay. A couple of weeks
on
ago.
the Morning Blend.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, 727-498-0502 is the number to call if you want to play along with any of the things that we're going to be speaking about this evening. A lot of you that are listening may or may not know Ty Ginn. If you do know Ty Ginn and you want to say, hey, 727-498-0502.
If I owe you money, I'm not here.
You're right. Don't worry. I answer the phone.
Oh, that's good. Good.
If you recognize the voice, oh, he stepped out. He was here.
Just missed it.
Yeah.
Had to go.
Don't know where he went.
Right.
Haven't seen him.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway. So
no forwarding address.
yeah. So anyway, Idalia. How do you say it, Steph?
Idalia.
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 Idalia. How do you say it?
I have not said it.
So
He will not name.
I've read it a couple
I
times.
will
was
not
like,
give her
I will.
that bitch.
I
I will
will
not
not-
give her any credit at all.
That's one of those words that you see and go, well, I hope that doesn't come up.
I will not acknowledge its presence, and it'll go away.
That and Worcestershire.
Right. So that hurricane named after a woman came into town on Wednesday.
Didn't do a whole lot.
Didn't do a whole lot. I think we definitely
got
dodged
lucky.
a bullet. We certainly got very lucky this time. I mean, literally, it was almost like this is all you got.
Oh, don't even. Don't
go there.
even
Don't go there. Right.
They're still.
Knocking on wood.
I saw they took 85 dump truck loads of mud and sand out of Treasure Island and Madeira Beach
Now-
in the last 2 days.
Well, and I showed you pictures of what my buddy Ruben showed me what Indian Rocks Beach looks like now. You
Right.
can't even really call it a beach anymore. It's gone.
It's gone.
Right.
And it didn't all go out to sea. It all got pushed in.
Yeah.
That now needs to be cleared off the streets and out of people's houses. And
I did see where the estimated damage from Idalia so far has reached like $20 billion in damages. And I'm like, well, I mean, certainly we got lucky here in the Tampa Bay area.
Well, that's what I asked for.
What, $20 billion?
Yeah, I mean,
that was just your personal request.
got a little wet inside.
No, but
got to
there were-
redo the whole thing.
You know,
Total loss.
I didn't realize when I went over to Snell Isle
Yeah.
on Thursday,
Right.
parts of it were still underwater.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Snell Isle, Shore Acres, Treasure Island, Madeira
I
Beach.
saw a video of Gulfport Skate Park that was underwater. That looked
Underwater.
pretty cool.
Yep,
Yeah,
right.
right.
Underwater skateboarding. That's always the best.
Well, I guess the folks up in the Big Bend area of Florida were hit pretty hard. But from what I was talking to you about, Steph, before the show, you said that those areas were not
They're not heavily populated.
and more rural. And so, listen, it doesn't matter how rural you are. When you lose everything, that's
You
not cool.
lose everything.
Right,
Exactly.
So our hearts go out to those people up there in the Big Bend area of Florida.
And anyone who was affected. You know, I mean, six houses burned down
Right,
because they couldn't get to them because of the flood water.
right, right.
You know, people's cars are catching on fire. A Tesla burst into flames.
Yeah.
Teslas do that.
On,
Well, that's
on-
one of the things we saw when we were watching the storm coverage. They said, "Hey, look, if you've got an EV car, you need to get it out of your driveway, out of your garage, because if it floods, that salt water reacts to those batteries and they could just explode."
And one did right here on Park Boulevard, and it was on a tow truck when it caught fire.
Right.
And they had to take it off the truck and just let it burn in a parking lot.
That's not cool. So we've been here in Florida for, 25, 26 years now.
Yes.
And we've been lucky for all 25, 26 years. We've certainly seen bigger storms than Idalia, right, that we saw on Wednesday. We've certainly had smaller storms that have created more damage.
Never seen storm surge like this.
Does
though.
it make you wonder how true the accounts that people are talking about? You know, we're protected by the sacred lands of the Tocobago Indian tribe. I mean, do you suppose? I mean, is that a legend, or is that actually?
I think we've
what's
used all that up.
We've used it up.
Yeah.
Well, you know, those sacred lands are like 3 blocks down the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like if anybody's going to be protected, it should be us. I mean, because we're literally neighbors.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, and it was crazy because we saw traffic, you know, as soon as the storm passed on Wednesday when all the flooding was happening.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out why there was so much traffic. We didn't flood. Our street didn't flood.
Right.
But when I went out the next day, I think the traffic that was coming this way was also the traffic heading south couldn't get much farther than us and had to turn around.
The beach was blocked off. You couldn't go. You know,
and the rest of the street was flooded
Right.
and underwater. So, you know, the looky-loos were doing loops in front of our house.
yeah, we had nothing really. Absolutely nothing.
We got lucky.
And I'm grateful for
Knock-
that.
Knock wood.
I remember when we first moved down here, it was like an event to get ready for a storm. And I'm telling you, all you have to do is clean up after one storm to realize it's crap. It's not fun. It's not good. It's not even, you know, anything that you want to look forward to.
No.
people planning hurricane parties and stuff like that, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
We're
And
old now.
Now that I'm older, I know better.
I did want one of those hurricane cakes. Those are
Yeah,
cool.
no.
No, they stopped making
I
them.
want one.
Well, they were hurting people's feelings.
Well,
Too bad.
Well, anyway, so that's that. Let's talk about snakes for a minute. So you
Do
were
we
over.
have to?
Yeah, we do. So you were over on Sunday,
yeah.
and we told you that when we went out to go to, I guess that show that we went to last Sunday, there was a snake right outside our front door.
Yeah.
Okay. Since then, in the week that has passed, yesterday I come home, Mom goes, "Can you see him? Can you see him out there on the back, the pool deck area?" There was another very small snake,
Baby.
Same kind?
Yep.
same kind, right? And then again today,
Oh, they're under the house.
well, no, I think they're even closer. Then again today, another one right outside the front door. So
I think they're on the front porch.
we have a snake nest either real close to the front of the house or on the front porch.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I'm
And
not-
I'm thinking, you
I'm
know,
going home.
we have
I'm not
those
a
old
fan.
columns laying down on the front porch. They're hollow inside. I have a
Yeah.
feeling they're probably full of snakes.
See? Man,
It's not cool, man.
It's not cool. It's definitely
I
not
don't
cool.
like that at all.
I don't either. I mean, I'm of a mind, I've never been a snake person.
No.
Terrified of snakes. Now, in the 25 years that we've lived here, I've gotten sort of used to them where I don't, pee my pants every time I see one. You know what I mean?
You mean like I did Sunday when I opened the front door?
Right. But still, I mean, seeing a snake still gives you, that near heart attack. So my thought is, I mean, do we try to eradicate the nest, or do we do like what a lot of people say? Well, snakes are good for the environment. We just need to let them go. And we need to somehow figure a way to release them
Well, I mean,
off the porch.
what kind of snakes are they? Are they pythons? Like,
No, they're.
Pythons,
I mean,
pythons, we're going out with machetes, man.
the one I
you
saw.
can.
You're right.
The one I saw today was tiny. I mean, it was like 6 inches, but I knew what he was.
Not that tiny.
The one yesterday was like a foot long.
Watch your mouth, woman. So I did see today a video of this kid who goes to UCF. He's 18 years old, and he was down in the Everglades, right? And he was
Don't do it.
he was telling his story. Well, he was down there for like the Python Challenge, so and doing research. But he was telling his story of how he just like last weekend jumped on the back of a 15-foot long, 100-pound python.
Oh, so
Right.
What you're telling me? He's a white kid.
He is a white kid. He got its head. He got its, he got it by the neck, right at the head. He said, but then the thing went crazy, and now I'm wrestling for my life.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what?
that
Can
is-
you imagine?
That's what you call a Caucasian situation.
Do we have his number? Maybe he could help with our issue.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, have him come over and jump on the back of these 6-inch long.
No, just have him, like take the columns and do his research.
Just roll that into the street and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Bye.
Are they doing any like hurricane pickup? I mean, it's not like we had a lot of debris here in this area.
No,
Not
they're-
like the last storm. We can just pile our debris out there and say, let's just take those columns and put them out by the street.
yeah, no,
Snakes and all.
no. This time, because we were so lucky and only had storm surge issues. The brush sites are open. One of them is closed because it's flooded, but that's over in that Snell Isle, Shore Acre area. But we're pretty much, they said, put it in the trash or take it to a brush site
Yeah.
is where we're at with this storm.
All right.
And they did pick up the recycling today, which is good. Because we have probably more recycling to put out than brush.
Yeah, we have a problem.
It was a stressful storm.
It was. So, talking about, right outside your door or coming to your door, I guess it was last Sunday, we had a homeless woman and her dog come to our side kitchen door. And it was.
I don't like that either.
I know.
Which one do you prefer?
I mean,
Snake or homeless person? I mean, listen, snake is natural, homeless is sad. And for them to come to the door, is that aggressive or is that really desperate? I mean, or did this woman just go, you know what? People go door to door all the time looking for money.
she's enterprising.
Why can't I do it? And it wasn't like it didn't look like she had been, homeless for that long. I mean, she pretty much had her stuff together.
But did she look homeless?
I didn't think so.
Oh, and
She looked like a
just looking
Karen
for
to
money.
me. She looked like a Karen to me, and I thought for sure she was going to come to the door and start bitching about something. And it was going to be like, okay, that's it. We're going to have to get our phones out and record her, like you see all the videos, the Karen videos.
She's trying to get you into a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, Mom talked to her, and she was just looking for some money, and it was like,
Aren't we
that's pretty aggressive, man. Just going door to door.
I wouldn't have opened the door if
Right,
I wasn't sure if it was one of the neighbors.
right.
I
You
don't
know?
open
Yeah,
the
she
door
was
for the
she was
neighbors.
she was fairly well dressed. She had a nice buggy that her dog was in. I mean, she looked like she had it together. But it was like now all of a sudden she's asking for money.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
weird.
got nothing against homeless people, but
No, I don't either. And but it's like, is that going to be like the new tactic?
Maybe.
Now they're just going to start going door to door. I mean, this isn't Halloween, man.
almost.
Trick or treat.
We're in spooky season now.
Yeah, we are in spooky season. We got some stuff to talk about spooky season here in a bit in the show, but we'll hold that. But yeah, I don't know. We donated to her cause, and she went on her way, and that was it. But
I hope
How much?
I hope she found some shelter.
yeah, well, Ty wants to know how much. He's thinking about coming to the side door too.
It might not be a bad gig.
Well, I don't know. She hit every house on the block. We watched her.
Yeah, we watched her go.
There you go, man.
Yeah, we watched her go next door and to the next one. I mean, she was hitting them all.
But,
She did not discriminate.
no.
And neither should you.
No.
Well,
not ever.
we hooked her up. We hooked her up.
I offered her a bottle of water. She said she had plenty of hydration.
All right.
She denied my bottle of water.
Well, I mean, she wouldn't get much from my house. I don't have any money. No. You want a frozen burrito?
There
Yeah.
you go.
I'll hook you up, man.
It's hot enough; it'll thaw out. About 15 minutes out here.
Some pizza rolls.
Yeah.
I'll wrap them in foil. You can put them on top of the canopy on the dog cart.
We'd invite you in, but our dogs won't like your dog.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Weird.
Yep.
It was just very weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So, Steph, you and I had a conversation before the show when we were talking about Disney and how I was hearing today on the radio how a lot of people that were really looking forward to watching college football last night. I mean, this weekend starts college football.
Right.
Okay. So there were some pre-weekend games last night that people were hoping to see. And, I mean, they were watching the broadcast right up until kickoff, and then it went blank.
Yes.
And people were losing their minds because at first they thought, oh, my God, did I have a power outage? Is there something wrong with Spectrum? Is there something wrong with, whatever? And it turns out that I guess Disney, and you were telling me this, that Disney and Spectrum are in a contract dispute.
Yes.
So I guess their way of settling it or pushing the dispute to a head is to make the customers pay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, is that their business model?
Yes.
It's Disney. That's what they do.
Two superpowers with a lot of money can't figure out how to settle this thing, so we're just going to make the customers pay.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
That's not cool.
that's capitalism.
I am not, because for our internet service,
Right.
to be able to get those channels, I'm on, quote, a higher tier that I pay for. I'm not paying for that.
No.
Well, what you gave me a whole list of the channels that were we lost because of this whole dispute.
Right.
I mean, it's a bunch. I mean, FX, ESPN, the Disney Channel, for one thing.
Right.
What were they? I mean, you
they're-
listed off like 5 or 6.
How much of the Disney Channel were you watching?
I don't know that we were watching very much, but
Only
we
when
were
Mildred's
definitely watching
over.
some of the channels that they support,
Well,
that are under their
ESPN
umbrella.
and FX and
I mean, FX is terrible. It takes 9 hours to watch a regular length movie.
Yeah, right.
but that sometimes is good.
We
Yeah.
watched we watched a couple of movies during the storm, and
See, this is where it's good. 9 hours passes.
right, we watched the couple. Have you ever seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
it's a good movie.
it's one of the best. I've got it in like my top 10. It's a great movie. So we watched it again either Tuesday night or Wednesday during the storm. I can't remember which one we watched it, but it's a great movie. And what platform did we watch it on?
FX.
It was on. Was it FX?
Yeah.
Okay.
FX streaming.
FX streaming, and
So it took 2 days.
no, it didn't. No.
Because the commercials are much shorter.
Yeah, and
And-
they don't skip. They where you left off is right where it picks up.
And they tell you how many commercials. Sometimes it's 2, so it's only a minute.
Right.
Sometimes it's 6, and it's like, oh, good, potty break.
Right.
Is this get a beverage or is this a potty break? Or make more food.
Yeah.
I don't know how you deal with the commercials at all. It's terrible.
Well, they're all nonsense, but it's how the stations and all that stay afloat. That's how they make their money. Yeah.
I don't think they're actually selling anything. I think the goal is to make the commercials annoying enough that you pay not to see them.
Yes, I would get on board with that.
Yeah, but
Because, look, for $5 a month, we could watch without commercials.
They all offer that.
so yeah, but who benefits from what? Okay, so if you're looking at the Disney Spectrum scenario, Spectrum offers channels that don't have commercials.
Yeah.
Disney, it seems like all of their channels have commercials. So Disney is making money off of the commercials. So is that what the dispute is? Is Disney saying
No,
we got to
no.
keep having the commercials, and Spectrum saying no, we're not going to have the commercials? Is that what the dispute is?
I think there are too many people like us, or me, that it's not worth $5 a month.
Right.
Because I do need to go to the bathroom. I do need to refresh my beverage. And it's like, why would I pay $5 to eliminate the commercials that I don't watch anyway?
Well, with my attention span, when we were watching Jojo Rabbit, I think we were probably a third of the way through the movie, and all of a sudden a commercial came in, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yep.
And you said we've been doing commercials the whole way. I was like, "We have." This isn't the first one, dummy.
Why?
Pay attention.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Why do you think I ran upstairs 10 minutes ago? Because there was a commercial. I had to potty.
Yep.
That's why people pray for you.
Yeah. Well, they should. Damn it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, before we take our first break, I'm just going to say that the NFL games kick off next weekend. Our Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be in Minnesota to face the Vikings next Sunday. Go Bucks. First game of the season. How about that?
Hope we get to see it.
Well, they're usually on regular channels.
Yeah, but ABC is one of the Disney channels.
Great. Well, a lot of the Bucks are on 13, Fox.
Fox,
So
okay.
it'll be good. Let's see, another thing. Our Tampa Bay Rays are in Cleveland tonight and all weekend to face the Guardians. Rays are in second place behind the Orioles in the AL East. Go Rays. And then I also wanted to mention that we paid a lot of attention to the Little League World Series. We did not get to see the actual championship game last Sunday because we were downtown with Ty watching that punk show. But California ended up beating the island of Curacao 6-5 with Curacao, with a walk-off home run. So that was pretty exciting. I wish we got to see it, but we didn't. So that's that. That's my sports and sticking to it. Let's see. We need to take a break.
Yes.
All right, folks, we're the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. We come to you every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete online and on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. We're going to take a quick break. This is a little Canned Heat going up the country. Dig this. We'll be right back. Well, we're back. What are you doing?
I'm trying to.
No, I'm talking to Ty.
Oh,
He's
I was going to say
trying to distract me.
I'm trying.
What is this?
It's a weight. It's
For
actually
what?
Okay. So it's a weight.
Should I ask?
It's for it's penis lengthening.
Oh.
Wait, no, it's not.
Not very big.
Well, that's why you got to use the weight, and then it gets bigger. Once you're
Get
not
any
able.
wider.
Stop it. No, it's a weight. You know how, like, when you have under your sink, you have the sprayer, and the weight that holds the sprayer hose down, that's from our old sprayer hose.
Wasn't enough. You needed to get a little more.
That's it. Yeah. No, because we changed out our faucet and all that. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that.
Well, come over more often. So anyway, today is September 1st. And this,
And we did it months ago.
Right.
We wouldn't even notice.
right, and this
Whatever.
weekend is the Labor Day weekend. Ty, do you and Jack have any plans for the weekend?
No.
We don't.
We didn't know we had the day off Monday
There you
until like a half hour before we left work. So
Well, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, surprises are nice.
Yeah.
As long as they're good surprises. But Steph, we don't really have a whole lot planned. I know that I got to cut the grass. I need to do that. We need to move the furniture around in that room next door.
well, that sounds like a hoot.
Well, but then we were talking about possibly going downtown to see some more live music, either Saturday or Sunday. So if you and Jack want to come and join us, we'd
Please
love to have you. So,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving all the outdoor furniture in for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do it again.
I don't
Well,
want to do
right.
it again.
I mean, I spent all day yesterday moving furniture at work that I had put away on Monday, and it was grueling. I mean, unbelievable. I mean,
what,
I thought
what if you brought the snake nest inside?
We might have,
I'm
but I
hoping
don't
that we
think
didn't.
so.
Because I'm pretty sure that snake nest is in those columns that's on the front porch.
Go
So,
look.
do you know anything about noodling?
What?
Have you seen the videos of the country people that go into the lake or the pond? and
Is that where
they
you
stick
just-
the arm in
Yeah,
and they stick the
okay.
arm in the mouth of a big catfish and they pull it out? That's noodling.
That seems like another white people thing.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it definitely is. After the show, would you mind if we go out on the front porch and you do some noodling in the end of one of those columns to see if you can come out with anything?
Well, no, we're not going to do that. But I will go home
You will
and
go home.
I'll get the shotgun.
Do you still have that blowtorch?
Yes,
We just light them up right on the right on the front porch.
making bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's very disturbing
it is. Listen, my
because they're
fear.
hatching. It seems like they're hatching every day.
Well, yeah. I mean, now all of a sudden we've seen 3 in a week, and I don't know how many eggs that normal snakes have, but I know like if you're
It's a
talking about pythons, they're talking about like in the hundreds of eggs that they have. You know what I mean? So I don't think we have a python out there, but
I'm pretty sure
anything more than one is too many.
Yeah,
And they're right outside the front door. So it's like, first of all, what's their MO? I mean, what are they looking for?
They're trying to get
Are
inside.
they trying to get in the house? They're not going to
Well,
like it because we have the AC on.
The
It's going to be
homeless
too cold
lady
for them.
told him that you gave him money.
yeah.
It's one of those deals. I see.
You fed the puppy.
Right.
Well, I want to know where the mother is.
Yeah.
That's all. You know.
Well, they don't hang around. They're not good parents.
She
Oh,
can keep
good.
her mother ass outside.
Yeah.
She don't
Well,
bring it in the house
I just
because the day that we find one in the house, that's the day that we start packing. That's it.
I'll take it.
You'll take it.
okay.
I'll take it.
You'll take what?
The house.
Well, snakes and all.
It doesn't get that way. Yeah. Hey, so at the beginning of the show, I said for the first time in a long time, well, seems like for like the last month and a half, we've had like special guests on the show,
Right.
right? And this week we have our boy Ty Gann, which is a special treat because, I mean, he comes over like every other Sunday, but he hasn't been on the show in a long time. So this is nice for us, and I appreciate it. And I think I would like to continue doing this. But next week on the show, we're going to have Sarah Teeny Long and her friend Scott of the Ernestine Black Band.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's going to be something a little bit different. She's fun. Ty, if I show you a picture of her, you will swear that she is a doppelganger or twin of Tori. Remember Tori?
Yeah,
I mean, she looks almost identical.
that's weird.
A little
is weird.
shorter.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're about the same height. But anyway, yeah, they're a band, a local band here, and they've gotten affiliated with Sunshine 96.7.
Do they have drums? They
they-
a drum heaven band.
I think they do have a drummer. I don't think they're bringing the drummer. It's going to be Sarah and Scott, I
mean,
believe,
you
is her
don't- You don't
boyfriend.
bring the drummer.
What, he just shows up?
No, they're just supposed to carry stuff.
And hit things
Yeah.
in rhythm really hard.
Well, anyway, next week, folks, Sarah Teeny Long and Scott from Ernestine Black Band. So that'll be fun and interesting.
They're like thrash.
No, they're kind of, she has original stuff, but when we saw them, they were doing a lot of covers, and they were doing the covers really well, I thought. So, yeah, they're good. They're good. And
What covers did they do, man?
I'm trying to think of it now. I know that they did. This sounds bad because now all of a sudden I can't remember.
Now
You
I'm
put me on the
blank.
spot. But Fleetwood Mac, they did some Fleetwood Mac.
Well, that's
I think
cool.
they did a Tom Petty. We weren't there that long because
I
all of a
wanna
sudden
say-
it started to pour outside.
Right.
And we were at an outdoor sort of venue. So for the
10,000 Maniacs.
for the bit that we got to
singing
see them, I thought that they were great.
They're gonna play live here.
I don't know, and I mean maybe if one of them knows how to play the ukulele, we have
You
a
know,
couple of ukuleles over here. We
I-
don't have really a setup for anybody to play live in
Well, I
here.
should bring over some of my stuff.
Yeah, you should.
The green room.
The green. There you go.
Well, and I don't know how to plug any of it in. And I have other YouTube videos to watch this week.
So Ty, have you ever heard of this dude called Canhead?
Is he like Buckethead?
Well, this guy Canhead, okay, so I heard an interview with this guy earlier today, and this guy has an ability that apparently he's like one of 4 people in the world that has this ability. He's got a special blood type, which is Rh negative blood type, okay? And what that means is that, okay, so when babies are in utero, they actually breathe like through their skin. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when they're in utero, they have this Rh negative blood type. But when you're born, it changes to O positive or whatever. Okay. But while you're in utero, you have this because now you're able to breathe through your skin. Okay. This guy told this story today on the radio. It says, I was born, my mom was in a car crash. Okay. So I was born 3 months premature. All right. I was in the hospital for a long time. But what happened was because I was born premature, it somehow stopped that changeover to the regular blood type. So what that means is he still has this Rh negative blood, which means his skin still breathes. Okay.
Oh.
So they call him Canhead because he can take a can or anything metal and stick it like right on his face, on his forehead, on his arm, and it sticks. Right?
That's weird.
He can take his cell phone and just put it up to his ear without holding it, and it sticks.
But why does it stick?
Because his skin is constantly like breathing.
Well, shouldn't it fall off then?
Well, you would think, but he can control it. He can control it somehow. And then he goes on with the story talking about he also has like superpowers. And this is where the story got a little weird.
Is he a little
'Cause
culty?
Well, he's talking about he's got like super like lifting powers.
Okay.
He says you can look it up on you can Google it. He says there's a picture of me holding the back end of a Ford F-150 over my head. He says when I was a kid, it was nothing for me to lift up the back end of a car and move it sideways.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if I 100% believe it, but I was wondering if you had heard, because you're into a lot of different things. I was wondering if you had ever heard of this guy, Canhead. You
So-
can Google it. I Googled it, and there's all kinds of videos and stuff like that.
So can he swim though? Like if his skin is breathing?
He can. He says water
It's kryptonite.
is kinda. It takes away that superpower. You know what I'm saying? It makes it so that his skin doesn't have the sucking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I
Interesting.
just thought it was interesting, and I thought that maybe you had heard of this guy, Canhead. His name is Jamie Keaton, and you can Google him. There's all kinds of videos. I mean, he's got videos on Google. He's got videos on YouTube. He goes all around the world. They asked him today, do you have like another job, or is this what you do? And he goes, oh, I've been doing this for 20 years.
So he's good at it. He's a cult leader.
Well, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I make pretty good money. He says, I just got back from Germany. You know,
Leader.
something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a sideshow act, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you suppose one of the things that was funny is that I heard this on this radio show, and after he left, the one guy on the show said, I think it's all crap. It's all crap. And he says, I'm going to take this can that I have right here next to me, and I'm going to, because he had hair, and this guy usually sticks them all over like the top of his head. You can Google it, and you can see the picture of this guy. But he says, I'm going to take this can and I'm going to try to stick it to my cheek. And he did for like a brief period of time.
Well, if it's humid out, things will just stick to you.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at hold on, you got to Google it. Hold on. It's this guy, hold on.
He's got a shtick
He's
that
got,
people are buying
He's got something, man.
because you can't tell me every preemie is like that.
No, that's weird.
There's something else going on. And, you know, what was it in the NFL? The goo that they were putting on their gloves to be able to catch balls. And
There
It's
you
like
go.
he's suction cupping them.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't think he's got special cans, but I mean, why would you be able to?
Do you have an empty can? We're going to figure this out.
I do.
are you kidding? We have thousands.
Hold on.
We can stick them all over
Because
you.
I remember years ago, there was like an Asian guy who would like stick frying pans to his stomach.
Try to stick that to your cheek. We're going to debunk this right now. Are you sucking in with your skin? Are you trying to vacuum
Hold
it
on,
to your
he's gotta
face?
get his superpowers going.
No.
Oh. It almost looked like it was going to stick.
I'll do it on my forehead.
You don't have enough. No, I think you almost have to have something fleshy. But I mean, he had
He
10
looked
cans
kinda-
stuck
he
to
looked
his head.
kind of fleshy.
Can you put it on your arm?
No, probably not.
Do you,
No, there are
what
too
if
many
you
muscles.
Sculpted.
What if you wet it a little bit?
Rough
Probably.
terrain.
It can be done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I want to see him lift the truck.
Yeah, me too. That's
the big one.
When he started talking about that, and also he says when he was a kid, he was able to lift the back end of a car and like move it over. And I was like,
Yeah, me too, bud. Yeah.
Oh, what, a Volkswagen Beetle? Everybody did that in the 70s.
not a kid, not one person, you know. Anyway, I just thought that maybe you
Look.
had heard of this Canhead character, Jamie Keaton.
I remember I drove a Honda Civic,
Mm-hmm.
and as a prank,
Right.
I was parked, in a parking space in high school. The car beside me moved, and the football team thought it would be funny to pick up my car and put it sideways in the two spaces
Right.
where I couldn't get it out.
That's that good old Ohio humor.
Yep.
Funny as a crutch, Rich.
Yeah, right? It can be done.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Probably some sort of sideshow trick, but still, it was an interesting story that I heard earlier today.
there are all kinds of interesting people in the
Thought
world.
I'd share it with all of you here tonight.
Some of them show up at your kitchen door asking for money, and
Sometimes it's just snakes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's all you get. So here's the thing. I had a thought the other day, and it was about cell phones. And cell phones are truly glorious little things, devices.
if you say so.
Because there's so many things you can do with cell phones You've got the whole.
Sometimes.
You got the whole internet. You can take pictures. You can record videos, all kinds of stuff. But then I was thinking, what they can't do is like back in the day when we all had landlines. And when you had landlines, more often than not, you probably have 2 or 3 different phones in your house. So it's like if somebody calls your house, mom could be on the phone talking to whoever called, and you're like, oh, I want to talk too. You just go in the other room and pick up the phone, and now you're part of that conversation. You can't necessarily do that with a cell phone. So it's like,
You can do that.
Or
if I'm up here
pick
and you
up-
call mom downstairs, I can't just go, oh, I think she's talking to Ty, and then pick up my phone and go, oh,
You can't eavesdrop.
and now I'm
either.
part of it.
You can't listen in to someone else's conversation.
So I was telling somebody about this today, and they were like, are you kidding me? There's 3-way calls all the time. You can do it on cell phones. And I'm like, really?
Yes.
So this has been debunked.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily.
I don't have
Because-
any real stories at all tonight.
Well,
What are you doing?
see, the thing is, with landlines, you used to be able to listen in
Right.
on an extension
Yeah.
Well,
with,
now Amazon does that for you.
without anyone
And
knowing. Now, if you want to talk to 3 people all at once, it has to be initiated.
Yeah, talk about Amazon and Google listening in. Oh, my God. I mean, how many times have you had a conversation about something, and then the next thing you do, you go to your Google search, and it's like, what?
The
Or-
other day,
or
I didn't even talk about it. I
even
was
on-
looking at something.
even on
with
Facebook.
my eyes.
Even on Facebook. I never mentioned anything on Facebook about us getting the box that we got from the in-laws.
Right.
But then, never mentioned it. But now all of a sudden, every other ad that I get on Facebook is about holsters.
Well, I mean, you look like you'd have a holster.
So they know what I look like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're always watching.
I
and
don't
so
know.
are the trees.
I'm getting a lot of snake stuff, and we haven't talked about it.
Amazon sent the snakes. It was a free trial.
Right. And when I saw the one on the porch today, when I went to get the mail, came in the house, and Maida brushed my leg. I was trying to keep my composure.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I'm fine. Walk in the house, get to the dining room. Maida brushes my leg, and I'm like,
It followed me in.
it's touching me. Where is it?
It's attacking.
Now I'm on edge.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, where are we as far as time? Okay. Okay. Let me see. So, what's a car brand that you haven't seen in a long time?
Oh.
That was pretty popular. Let's say 80s, 90s, pretty popular. But now all of a sudden, I mean,
Plymouth.
Plymouth? Well, okay. I saw today a Saab. When was the last time you saw a Saab? I mean,
Been a while.
they were pretty popular back in the 80s and 90s. But
Yes.
now all of a sudden, where's a Saab?
Do
Do they
they-
just not last very long?
Or do they not make them anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that even a company anymore? Is Saab still a thing?
What about
What's the sob story?
It is a Saab story, right? But anyway, I saw one today, and it had a ladder on the roof. So it was not only a sad story that I haven't seen a Saab anymore, but now this old Saab is now being used as like a maintenance vehicle.
what's the song? Oh
I'm Sabi.
no.
I'm Sabi. So Sabi.
Oh, never mind. Nissan still exists.
What about Datsun? I don't see any
Datsun.
Datsuns anymore.
That's it. Datsun. And I can't think of the song or the artist.
The Datsun, like the 240Z, the 260Z, and all that kind of stuff, they were pretty cool back in the day.
But
You
they
don't see
got-
one anymore.
Well, Datsun got absorbed by somebody.
I think Nissan.
Nissan.
Yeah. Yeah, Datsun, Nissan became one, and then the Toyota,
Right.
right?
And you know what else? There are not new cars of Saturns.
Yeah, that sort of came and went.
Yeah.
Are they even a thing anymore? I haven't seen a brand new Saturn in forever,
Forever.
right? They went the way of the Saab.
Right.
So, of all the cars that you had in your life, what's the favorite car that you've had?
Oh, the Mercedes station wagon.
That was a cool car. That was fun.
That was a great car. You know, plenty of seating. It had the back facing rear seats.
Right. That was cool.
Loved that.
I had a 66 Buick Skylark convertible that was fabulous. That was one of my favorite cars that I ever had. I started off driving Volkswagen Beetles. My first two cars were Volkswagen Beetles.
Oh, my Cadillac.
Yeah, then I had the
Trixie.
Skylark.
Trixie was a beast.
Right. Oh,
9 miles
well,
to the gallon.
Cars back in the day were huge. I mean, you could actually get in a wreck in one of those cars and survive.
Yeah, well,
You know,
you know,
with no airbags
I could have been in
or
the mob.
seatbelts.
You know, I could have put 18 dead bodies in the trunk.
Right. Yeah. What about you, Ty? How many?
I like my current car.
Yeah. Well, I kind of. Yeah.
Yours is cool.
It's a good
I
car.
like your car.
It's like a spaceship.
What kind of car is it? It's a Toyota.
It's a Corolla.
Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good car.
It's a car.
Serves its purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Gets more than 9 miles to the gallon.
Right. I'm digging my current car, the Mercedes. I mean, I don't have any complaints about it. It's fun to drive. You know, I'm not crazy about how much it costs to put gas in it. You know, don't ever get a car that you have to put premium in.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
terrible.
ridiculous. I am so tempted to put the regular gas in it, but then I'm afraid it's like, that's it. You asked for it.
You ruined it.
No, you might as well park it on the side of the road.
Way to go.
Yep. But man, oh man, the difference that it costs to put that premium gas in is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that little car, for as small as it is, it's got an 8-cylinder engine in it. So it will get up and go, which means it drinks gas like nobody's business. So I'm, you know, even like when I was driving the truck, I wasn't having to fill the truck up. I was like every 2 weeks. With this car, I'm like every 8 to 10 days, I got to put gas in it. I mean, it drinks gas like nobody's business.
Yeah. Does not get good gas mileage.
No, and it's expensive. So, might have to give it away or
No.
sell it. Sell it. You want the Mercedes time?
Maybe.
Can you afford to put the gas in it?
No.
Right. I can barely do it myself. So that's that. Let's see what else. We're pretty much right at the break. So I think we should go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, let's talk about got a couple of different things. Have you heard, Ty, about the Ybor murder house?
What?
Okay, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Isn't that most of the houses in Ybor?
Well, this one's got a special history. And we'll talk about that when we come back. All right, folks, with the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show, we come to you every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete online and on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. Now we're going to take a break. And during this break, I'm going to play a bunch of promos. And these promos are of shows that are going to come on later this evening and then throughout the weekend. And do yourself a favor and check out these promos. I know you got other stuff to do. You need to take a break. But if you listen to these promos, give them a chance, you might find something that you're going to be very interested in listening to after our show tonight or throughout the weekend. So you might find a new favorite show. Anyway, like I said, we're going to be back in a few minutes. And when we come back, let's talk about Ebor's Murder House. Ooh.
One and all, let us imbibe with the Marco Radio Show Happy Hour. This is Ed Rowe from the Boho Sideshow.
So we're walking off the court, and I said to him, because he played terrible, "Man, you really laid an egg."
She's heard the young people using the expression shoelace express.
But that's okay because cats don't particularly care for me. Because I'm not a cardboard box.
Join us this week for Away with Words.
Bombay, I come back.
Away with Words. Sunday afternoon at 1:05, online at RadioStPete.com.
Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTB LP St. Petersburg. Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
This is music by Gaspar Sanz, performed by Emanuele Segre. Hi, I'm Tony Morris. Join me for this week's edition of Classical Guitar Alive as we feature this, plus music by Giuliani, Toroba, Sergio Assad, and Sean Rigney. That's this week on Classical Guitar Alive.
Sunday morning at 7 on 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete.
Songs by Amy Adams, Tom Paxton, Sawyer Brown, Gordon Lightfoot, Joan Baez, The Silhouettes, Jim Croce, George Carlin. A song by George Carlin? Wait till you hear. These talented workers and many more will lighten your workload this weekend on Work and Music, Songs for Labor Day.
Monday morning at 9, right here.
In the depth of the sea, where the sun is powerless to send a single ray of light, there live many strange beings. Of these sea folk, we know nothing.
William Beebe was the first scientist to observe these creatures far below sunlight in the watery deep. The things that left him awestruck on the latest episode of Constant Wonder.
Our lunchtime conversation Sunday at the noon hour.
Where has the summer gone, and why does it always seem to fly by so fast? Hey there, I'm Elena C., and the unofficial end of summer is here. We're looking at some of the history behind Labor Day this week, and I'm going to share some of the great music that came from the labor movement, too. Hope you'll tune in and join me this week on Folk Alley.
Sunday morning at 10:05 on Sunshine 96.7 FM.
Be sure to be listening Saturday morning at 10 for another edition of the Florida Folk Show, broadcast live this week from Bula Cafe, 2500 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Musical guests will be Charles Walston, former lead singer and songwriter with the Vidalias, a national touring country rock band of the 1980s, and our friend Big Jim Allen, one of Florida's top guitar multi-stylist, finger-picking with folk to rock. The Florida Folk Show from Bula Cafe, Saturday morning at 10, here live on Sunshine 96.7 FM and our Radio St. Pete Facebook Live page.
Here's what's coming up next. Greatest Hits USA.
Hey, this is Chuck Matthews on Greatest Hits USA. And coming up this weekend, we're going to answer the following questions. Who paid his lawyer with a song? What singer spent an entire afternoon on a trampoline? And who had the #1 record this week in 1969? Find out. Turn it up this weekend right here.
Saturday night at 6, online at RadioStPete.com.
Greatest Hits USA.
When they were dancing, we didn't feel like we were alone. We really felt like the ancestors of that land were dancing with them. And tears just started coming out of my eyes, and it was such a spiritual moment.
The Power of Gathering with Farina King of the Diné, a look at Chaco Canyon in New Mexico, and the story of the jingle dress with Eugene Tapaje on the In Good Faith podcast.
Sunday morning at 6, online at RadioStPete.com.
In the
1920s, hot jazz swept the college campuses of Indiana, and a record label in Richmond introduced the world to Louis Armstrong, Bix Beiderbecke, Jelly Roll Morton, and Hoagie Carmichael. I'm David Brent Johnson, inviting you to tune in for part one of the series Jazz Crossroads of America with Jeanette Days, hot jazz from the heartland, this week on Nightlights.
Sunday night at 10, following Frank Rivera's Sunday Night Jazz, here on Sunshine 96.7 FM.
Greetings, folks. This is Dave Smith, host of Ozark Highlands Radio. This week, we'll hear award-winning country and western swing trio, The Farmer and Adele. Mark Jones has found an archival recording of Ozark Originals' The Apple Family. And guest host Charlie Sandage profiles early country music superstar and Arkansas native Patsy Montana. This week on Ozark Highlands Radio.
Sunday afternoon at 1:10 here on Sunshine 96.7 FM.
Next time on Philosophy Talk, the philosophy of Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel.
A profound thinker, founder of phenomenology, with his work, The Phenomenology of Spirit.
Also developed the philosophy of history, and gave us the notion of Zeitgeist.
So the Spirit is telling me it's time to talk about it.
Thesis, antithesis, and Hegel. Next time on Philosophy Talk.
Sunday afternoon at 2:10 on our St. Pete Sounds online channel at RadioStPete.com. Listen in the noon hour on Saturday for a lunchtime conversation. We'll take the Wayback Machine back to a 20-year-old interview with Roger Bartlett, original member of Buffett's Coral Reefer Band, the Paul Leslie Hour. Our lunchtime conversation Saturday here on 96.7 FM.
Local music lives here. Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTB LP, St. Petersburg. Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete.
Just got home from Illinois, locked the front door, oh boy. Got to sit down, take a rest on the porch. Imagination sets in, pretty soon I'm singing. Do, 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 looking out my back door. There's giants doing cartwheels, statue wearing high heels. Look at all the happy creatures dancing on the lawn. Dinosaur Victrola, listening to Buck Owens. Do, 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 looking out my back door. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? Do, 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 a wondrous apparition provided by magician. Do, 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 looking out my back door. Tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. Won't you take a ride on the flying spoon? Do, 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 bother me tomorrow. The day I'll buy no sorrows. Do, 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 looking out my back door. All the troubles, Illinois, lock the front door, oh boy. Look at all the happy creatures dancing on the lawn. Bother me tomorrow, the day I'll find no sorrow. Do, 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 looking out my back door.
All right. Looking Out My Back Door, Creedence, Clearwater, Revival. I played them because they're local. Clearwater's clearly in their name. Anyway, folks, we're back. 727-498-0502 is the number to call if you want to play along. We've got our special guest, our boy Ty Ginn, is here in the studio with us for the first time in a long time, and we're having some fun. When we took our break, I was asking if Ty had ever heard of the Ybor murder house.
Ooh.
Right. Well, here's something that would sort of lead up to that. So, Ty, we moved into this house. Steph, how long have we lived here?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Has it really been that long?
That's crazy.
Almost
that is
4
crazy.
years.
Okay. So here's the thing. From the very beginning, both you, Ty, and your sister Hannah have always said that this house is haunted.
And it isn't.
And I've refuted that. I mean, it's absolutely not haunted.
Oh, man.
And even if it was haunted, okay, would that cause us to move out?
No.
No, I would not.
In this
move
economy?
out. Right. Yeah.
No, now, this house...
Ghosts are going to learn to sweep.
This house will be haunted by me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the vibe you're picking up. Is that your mother will always be in this house forever.
And really, how cool would it be if your house was actually haunted? I mean, because
it depends.
I think what's happened is that Hollywood has portrayed haunted houses as somehow being evil, and in my mind, it's like, okay, so I don't necessarily believe in ghosts for one thing, but if I were to, let's say, if I was downstairs and I'm coming up the stairs and I look at the top of the stairs and there's like this little girl standing at the top of the steps that I know that doesn't belong here, I'm not going to go, oh my God, we got to move.
No.
You know what I mean?
Now, if it's a snake,
yeah, if it's
we
a snake
gotta
at the
move.
top of the steps, we're out of here. We're packing immediately. But I don't know. So there's this house over in Ybor, okay? And back in 1933, this guy named Victor... Hold on.
lost his place.
Victor Licata, okay? He took an axe and killed his parents and his siblings in this house back in 1933.
Very reasonable.
Okay. A reasonable act, right. And it was thought at the time that he was in a marijuana-induced delirium.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's, yes.
Reefer madness.
I myself have experienced
this case. This case.
Thank you for not finding an axe.
This case enabled the federal government to use the crime as a reason to criminalize marijuana. And then shortly after that, a while after that, then they came out with the movie Reefer Madness, all about, and they are saying that it was all because of this particular crime, this Victor Licata did back in 1933, where he chopped up his family in this house in Ybor.
Because he had the reefer madness.
Well, that's what they're saying. I think they were just trying to put a bad name. Right. I think the people that tried to push that were from the tobacco industry, and they're like, see, that doesn't happen if you just smoke butts. You know what I mean? You do that wacky tobacco, and now you're going to axe up your whole family. You know what I mean?
Is that what happened in the Amityville Horror? Was he out at the boathouse?
Chiefing.
Yeah.
Chiefing?
He was chiefing, then decided to go in, got some flies on him, had some flies at the window. He thought, we better kill everybody in this house.
I've been to Amityville.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you see the house?
No, well, kind of.
The house was for sale not too long ago. Yeah. It was for sale not too long ago. Okay, so in this instance, okay, if that house comes on sale, for sale.
Oh, I'm buying it.
I would too. It's a great looking house.
It's cool.
And it's like waterfront.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fabulous house. Just because somebody got killed in this house years ago, that does, I mean.
Well, and they're ghost kids. I'm not afraid of ghost kids.
Yeah, right. And they
Slap
weren't the
them
ones.
around.
They weren't the ones doing the killing.
Yeah.
It was the dad that did the killing.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know.
He's the one you need to be afraid of.
Anyway, what's fun about this story is that this guy who currently owns the house, okay, he calls into this radio show that I listen to, and he gives them update. Anytime he's a listener of the show, and anytime they bring up paranormal or haunted houses or stuff like that, he calls in all the time and gives like an update about what's happening at his house. So this is what's interesting. So this guy, Victor Licata, back in 1933, killed his family. All right. But now all of a sudden they're suspecting because he killed his family after he escaped from like a nut house.
Oh.
An asylum, right? Okay. So he was.
So there were other factors.
He wasn't
involved.
a child when he did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but now this guy who currently owns the house says that a month ago, investigators from the police department came to his door and said, "Hey, we have reason to believe that there are 4 bodies buried in your backyard."
Oh,
cool.
So September 15th, this month, they're going to start digging in his backyard. And this guy who calls into the radio show all the time, who lives in the house, he said, "I will keep you apprised of what's happening."
Are they gonna pay him?
I don't know. What do the police pay for anything when they come in and they bust in your front door, or you rip your car apart? They don't pay for anything.
A crime that happened, like 100 years ago? They're going to be, hey, we got to dig up your backyard.
Dig up your backyard.
No.
I mean, do you even care if there's people buried in your backyard? I mean, this happened like 100 years ago. You know what I mean?
I care that you're digging up my backyard.
Yeah.
Cut me a check.
While you're at it, you know what? Dig it up, get those bodies out of there, and put a pool in.
Yeah.
Then we'll call it even.
Fixed by sprinklers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We need to fix it. How are you going to fix it?
Right. I don't know. I just I've never been one to be worried about like being in a haunted house. You know, it's like a lot of people.
Everyone says that until they are.
Well, I mean, what would it take? What would it take? I mean, literally, like my example, like if I'm going up the stairs and I look at the top of the stairs and like there's a kid at the top of the stairs that I know doesn't belong in the house and doesn't look, completely real, looks ghostish. I'm going to be like, hey, hold on. We can be friends. We can live here together.
What if the guy's a dick?
Well, if he is, then you got to kick him out. But
that's a whole deal.
Well, I mean, could be.
There are several movies about exactly that.
Well, then what do you got to do? You got to get that lady from Poltergeist and have her do a whole cleansing of the house or whatever. Or maybe you just got to go through the house and burn the herbs or whatever and smoke them all out. Or
I think that's how you end up seeing ghosts in the first place. Burning herbs.
All throughout
the special
house.
kind of herbs that you're smoking or burning. Yeah, right. Yep. I don't know. Okay. So I think I heard that either tonight or tomorrow night starts all of the Halloween horror nights, like over at Busch Gardens and that kind of thing.
We're supposed to go to that at some point.
What does that cost these days?
I don't know. I don't look at it. I hit buy and try not to think about it.
So I was listening to this show today. I mean, like shortly after I listened to this story.
There today.
Well, right. Well, they were talking about like Busch Gardens and what's the other one?
Universal Studios.
Yeah, right. So they're offering these packages where it's like we're going to offer you a 10-night thing for a certain amount of money. There's one that offers 40 nights.
Oh,
40 nights?
For what?
Who's going back to do that 40 nights in a row?
I mean,
and what must that cost?
You got to drive all the way over there.
When you think you drive all the way over there, and
do
then
you get to stay?
And then how expensive is it to get in Busch Gardens? Is it as expensive to get into Disney? I mean, it's expensive.
It's close.
I mean, to go and get the crap scared out of you.
I mean, after the third night, you've seen everything.
Now listen, if our house was haunted, like any one of those horror haunted night houses, that would get old.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably move. You know what I mean? But if I just got like a family who died in here and they were cool and they showed up every once in a while, all of a sudden it's like we're downstairs watching TV and we hear something upstairs. It's like, oh, that's probably Bob.
But like, okay, all right. What if they're cooking in the middle of the night? Huh?
It'd be like the same as when you and Jack live with us.
Well, you love that.
It'd be the same.
You called a priest then.
That's funny. I don't know.
We have snakes on the porch.
Yeah, right.
How's that for all else?
It's getting there.
And the random homeless woman and her dog showing up. It's like a whole sideshow over here.
It's all coming
All we
together.
need now is for Canhead to show up. I'd be more worried if Canhead showed up upstairs here.
Get him to carry the truck off.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Especially now that I loaded it up with Idalia limbs that Idalia blew off the trees. Here's my truck that doesn't run, but I use the bed of the truck to load up my limbs.
Get after it, Superman.
I'm hoping that the junk man will take the truck and the limbs.
Here, stick some cans to your head while you do it.
I'll slide him with 20. Take care of those limbs too, brother.
The debris site's right up the street.
As you're towing this truck around the corner, just throw it out the back.
Throw it over there.
Mm-hmm. That could happen. Yep.
I think it's going to be more expensive to get rid of it the way it is.
Probably.
Yeah.
So here's something that I saw, and it doesn't give me a whole lot of hope for. Okay, so you know how like you're watching like National Geographic or one of those shows where all of a sudden they'll show like a tribe.
Boobs.
Yeah, well, that's one of the benefits, right? But every once in a while,
Multicultural.
yeah, right. You'll see like they'll all of a sudden they came upon one of those tribes in the rainforest or something like that have none of those people in the tribe have ever seen anybody, another human other than what lives in the tribe. You know what I mean? And then eventually
Welcome
the person,
to America.
then the person that gets that discovers them gets eaten. They boil them in a big pot of water, that kind of thing.
Welcome
and
to
eat 'em.
America.
So, this is crazy. So it made me, reading this story today, made me realize that you don't have to go as far as the jungle to find like tribes or people that are just truly uneducated.
You go just down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So I saw this article today.
It is Florida,
I could
by the
even
way.
name some names.
And this is fascinating. So, Woodland, North Carolina, has rejected a proposed solar farm. Okay, which is big. I mean, we're trying to turn back the
climate
time.
change.
Right now, we're going to tap into the sun. Right. So, Woodland, North Carolina has rejected a proposed solar farm after residents expressed fears that it would consume too much sunlight.
Oh.
Resident Jane Mann told the town council that the farm would steal sunlight that plants need, while another resident warned that it might suck up all the energy from the sun.
Trump voters.
This is a town full of morons.
Well, I mean,
They need to work on their education system.
I think it's a lost cause. You can't fix stupid.
So, because of that,
You can
the
fix
council
stupid.
rejected the proposal despite assurances that solar panels do not draw additional sunlight. I mean, come on, man. This is right here in the
fine.
U.S. of A.
You know what?
That's North Carolina. That's a couple states up the road. These are the people that, who do you suppose they vote for?
Mm-hmm.
Know what I'm saying? Do you remember have you ever seen those videos where Trump's out there? I love dumb people.
Yeah.
I love
those are
I
his
love the uneducated people. These are his people. Those are his people. Well, we can't have that solar farm out there. It's going to take up all the energy from the sun.
The windmills cause cancer.
Yeah. It's going to be cold here.
It's a bird graveyard.
Our plants aren't going to get any sun. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to bring up. What else do we have? Ty, do you have anything that you want to add in here?
No.
No. Okay, great. So
You didn't ask me to prepare anything.
no, well, listen, this has been a bad week for content, so I'm struggling over here, and we still got a lot of time left.
Oh, good.
So this is the time in the show where we're all going to start talking in slow motion.
Slow.
Everyone
Where?
join hands.
Did you hear about that place
Where?
in North Carolina?
Where?
It's called Moronville. They're afraid of solar energy.
Because it's going to take their son.
Here's something that I wanted to mention, and this is a week old, but we didn't talk about it last week. But Bob Barker died.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, my God, he was 99 years old.
I think he was ready.
Well, I mean, 99, I mean, you have to be ready. But, I mean, this is something, I don't know if it's started happening for you yet, Ty, but Bob Barker is somebody that I've known my entire life.
He's been on TV forever.
Forever. When I was a kid, I can remember being at my grandmother's house watching Truth or Consequences, okay, which is one of the shows that he was on way back in the day. And, just amazing to me. It's amazing and sad when you see it, you become aware of somebody, you see their life in flashes as you see them on TV and you hear about them here and there and da-da-da-da. And then now all of a sudden, they're 99?
Well,
you know what I mean?
When we're
Time
gone.
marches on, man.
When we're gone and you take over the radio show.
Oh, God.
When Ryan Seacrest dies, you'll get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sad news,
Is he
folks.
still alive?
Yeah. Sad news, folks. Ryan Seacrest passed away earlier today. He was 99 years old. Yep. I don't know. It's just weird. As you get older people die. People that are older than you, So but what it makes you realize is that when the people that are older than you start dying, now all of a sudden it's like that puts you
further up
at
in
that
line.
next stage. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the
listen,
game, man.
we could all die at any moment. Yeah, we could be sitting here doing the show right now, and a plane could crash right through the window there and kill us all right now.
It'd be pretty cool.
It'd be a good story for like Hannah.
Or
we wouldn't be able to tell it unless we went and haunted somebody's house.
Well, she's not going to inherit anything.
No.
Or the tree
bad
could
girl.
fall over now instead of during the hurricane.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just toss us all out into the street.
Yeah, the only real worry I have about the hurricane, or any of the hurricanes, is that tree out front. The good thing is that it leans toward the street, so it doesn't lean like toward the house. But still, most of the storms come from the Gulf, and the Gulf is over there, so it'd be pushing it back this way.
It doesn't matter which way that tree falls.
No, it's not going to be good. Did you see where that big old oak tree at the governor's mansion?
Oh, yeah, that was
split in
funny.
half,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's what's going to happen. this old girl's going to split in half and take our front porch right off.
If only it fell on Ronnie D.
Yeah, my hero.
Personal friend of mine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's that. Let's. Well, we're close enough now. We can pretty much take our next break. So anyway, folks, we're the Market Radio Happy Hour Show. We come to you every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete Online and on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. Here's a song, and this is an oldie but goodie. And I'm thinking, you know what? We're going to slow things down. This might be a good time for you to grab your gal or your guy and do a little slow dancing. Dig this. We'll be right back.
My love must be a kind of blind love. I can't can't see anyone but you. Shabam, shabam. Shabam, shabam. Shabam, shabam. Shabam, shabam. Shabam, shabam. Are the stars out tonight? Shabam, shabam. I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you, dear. The moon may be high, but I can't see a thing in the sky. I only have eyes for you. I don't know if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, and so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I only have eyes for you.
All right, well, we are back.
Doo-wop, doo-wop.
Yeah, it's like doo-wop, doo-wop, but it changes throughout the song.
Doo-wop,
Right. Yeah, so I hope everybody took the opportunity to slow dance with your significant other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we did.
You don't? Yeah, we did. We all did. We did a three-way mother, son, dad, three-way.
It was beautiful.
It was. Yeah.
Just like Jojo Rabbit.
You were a little sweatier than I hoped you would be.
Your unibrow got on me.
Anyway, folks, we're back with the Market Radio Happy Hour Show. 727-498-0502. This is the final segment. If we can get through this, it'll be amazing. Truly, this I usually have enough content to fill 4 hours.
Right.
But for whatever reason this week, I just don't have it. It was a bad week for me as far as content goes, and then the hurricane came through and blew everything up. And so anyway, so we're struggling a little bit. But I think
a little.
I think we can get through it.
Just enough to
with
give
a little
some
with a
good
little help from my
suspense.
friends. Right. Anyway. So here's something that I find pretty interesting. So I have a question for you. So is or would being artistically gifted, okay, artistically gifted or gifted in any way, okay, a good enough trade-off for being autistic
and nonverbal.
So if you were autistic, nonverbal autistic, but you had this incredible ability, is there a place in your mind that you're like, okay, I get it. I'm autistic. I'm nonverbal, but look at what I can do.
Yeah, I mean that sounds great, actually.
I mean, does it?
Yeah, like you get to make cool art all the time, and you don't have to talk to people.
Well,
That's beautiful. Where do I sign up?
Well, yeah. Okay, so the reason I brought this up is because last weekend, Mom and I were over at the Craftsman House, and there's a lot of local art in there, pottery, and you've been there.
Yeah.
So there's this whole display of this artwork by this 14-year-old kid who's nonverbal autistic, and he paints portraits of people's pets, okay? And it's phenomenal, right? So it got me to thinking, it's like, okay, this kid's 14. And at 14, you have a pretty good awareness of what's happening. Is he being autistic? Is he aware enough to know that he's nonverbal? But in his mind, is he going, yeah, well, I don't speak, but Shazam, look what's hanging on the wall here. I did that in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
look what I can do. Or watch me go over to the piano and play like a savant. You know, I mean, it's like, is there a trade-off? Is there somehow a higher power? It's like, okay, look, man, I get it. You're a little bit different, but I'm gonna enhance something else for you.
Well, I mean, I don't know, the nonverbal people that I know about, they don't seem to be missing out. It seems like they're having a good time.
Well, I mean,
it seems like they're having a better time.
I mean, how cool would it be if everybody knew that you were nonverbal and they never had to tried to have a conversation with you?
Yeah,
because
awesome.
I mean that's kind of cool. I mean, now see, but
is that where we're headed?
Yeah,
though?
but that's sort of like introverted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong.
That's
with
that's not gonna work for an outgoing person who likes to go out and be interactive with people.
Well, they usually
but if you're
are
an
artistic
introverted
people.
person, I mean, but
right, they are not artistic people.
Right.
They are flamboyant people. Kind of like the group staying at the Airbnb right now.
What if it's this 14-year-old kid, okay, and he's introverted, okay, and he's saying, you know what, I've already been diagnosed as being autistic. Now, so I can avoid everybody, throw nonverbal on there.
I'd do it. Absolutely.
I can actually see you doing that.
Yeah, that
count me in.
That would be great.
I mean, Mom and I for years thought that you were on the spectrum because, I mean, truly,
probably.
for years, trying to get 3 words out of you was different. Now,
Which,
but
wasn't,
throw him on stage and it's a show.
Yeah, well, he also spoke in complete sentences before he was a year old.
From the get-go. I mean, you came out speaking.
Well, people are disappointing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
There's a time when it's best just to be quiet.
You learn more from listening.
Well,
yes.
It makes me wonder, a lot of times when you see people that are gifted artistically or musically or even physically, that kind of thing, and it just makes you wonder what part of their brain are they tapping that I'm not tapping?
It's the quiet part.
It's the quiet part.
You
I
pay
get
attention more.
It's shutting out.
Yeah, you're not caught up in what everybody else is doing. You're looking at things.
But okay, but still there has to be a starting point to that. So it's like, do you just have an awareness of that where I can tap into this? So, talking about like having a special power like Canhead, I mean, you've now all of a sudden I can tap into this part of my brain and I can create this beautiful art, or I can play this whole concerto on the piano without ever taking a lesson. I can do all these fabulous things, but I'm nonverbal.
No, I mean,
is that a a good enough trade-off? I mean,
absolutely.
Is it, being
absolutely?
Or
when you're making your art, that's all you need. You don't need outside people.
Well, it
it's
would
just
be
you
a
and
distraction.
the thing. Yeah, it's just you and the thing.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I might get there.
Yeah.
I might find my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can only hope that you become nonverbal.
Wouldn't be good for the show.
What's that song we played last week on the show? You talk too much. Yakety yakety. You talk too much.
Yeah, I become nonverbal, and you're gonna have a problem.
Oh my God! If you would just zip it for a while and start painting murals on these walls or something like that. Oh my God! We've been married for a long time. That would really enhance the whole vibe.
Okay.
It'd be like, oh my God.
Hey, open invitation. Zip it. Paint.
I'll buy you some paint.
Paints are cheap.
Yeah.
I have tons of paint. I buy more paint for Millie than she will ever paint in a lifetime.
I don't know. I just think it's fascinating when you find out that somebody who's diagnosed, autistic, nonverbal, but then you see,
And then they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people.
There's that panic.
Why
like,
would you ever
okay.
think it was a problem when you see, okay, they're nonverbal, but they have tapped into this incredible thing. I mean, don't you love it? I mean, I know that you go on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And I go on TikTok too. You ever seen the kid that goes on the subway and draws the people?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I love every single one of those because I want to see the next one. I mean, in the subway ride, he does a pencil sketch of this person that looks like a portrait. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? In like 5 minutes, he puts this, I drew you. You know what I mean? It's like, are you kidding?
Homeschooled.
Yeah.
Probably.
And anytime a video pops up where there's just somebody sketching something, I will watch that. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me. There are people that have that ability to do that. They're tapping into something that I have. Is it a patience thing? Do I just not have the patience to search that section of my brain out? Or I don't know the directions on how to get there.
It's been shut down. That's what I think.
See, normal people live in this world. Autistic people live in their world, but watch this one.
I like that. Man, I wish you were here when I wrote my quotes down. That's a good one.
Ty did it first.
Yeah, that's good. That's very, very good.
And truly, I think that's how we all need to look at life.
Yeah.
Is, we all need to get along. We all need to participate. But do you, do me, do you, and it's all cool.
Right.
It's not hard. It's not a hard concept. It is with our political environment. But let live, enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And zip it.
It's interesting that everybody's got a brain, and everybody's brain works different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that probably what happens is that through some sort of conditioning that most of us think similarly with each other. But then there's people that say, no, I'm not going along with that ride. I'm able to tap into something different, and I can block out the rest of the noise, and
they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, I think that's
Love
fascinating.
Love
That's fascinating. Yep. Anyway, so Ty, over the last several years, you have done something that originally I wasn't a big fan of, but I've I've become comfortable with it because I feel like you're very responsible about it, but you've become a gun owner.
Yeah.
Okay. And at this point, how many guns do you own?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not crazy gun guy.
No.
Okay.
I do have a tank though.
Just ordered a flamethrower.
And the guns I have, it's a Gatling gun and a bazooka.
It's a 50 cal that I got mounted on my.
Just something small
Yeah,
for
right.
home defense.
Yeah, right. Yep. But it makes sense to me. As far back as I can remember, you were the kid that was always making some sort of weapon. You were making swords or making some sort of a knife or a club. You know what I mean?
It's fun.
I mean, you'd be great in prison.
Yeah.
You could open up your like shank store. Go over to Ty's cell. He's got a whole wall of shanks that he made out in the yard.
The Galleria.
Here's one made out of a toothbrush. Here's one made out of a paintbrush
spoon.
handle. Yeah.
I think the
Watch
spoons
this one.
were the first.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Forget the knives.
Mhm.
Nobody uses the spoons much in this house.
Right. Well, I love the fact that you're a responsible gun owner, and I appreciate that.
It
And
doesn't take much.
no, well,
No, yes.
listen,
it does.
there's a lot of yahoos that you see that act like it's a big deal to own a gun, and now all of a sudden they're all over social media posing with the gun and stuff like that. And it's like, come on, man, that's not.
Well, those are sad guys anyway.
Yeah, right.
And they're the scariest ones.
Yeah, well, because they've got something to prove.
Now,
Well, and now they have guns.
but here's the question I have for you: being a gun owner, and I hear this from a lot of gun owners. Everybody's freaked out about, oh my God, they're going to take away our guns, and nobody's trying to take away anybody's guns.
It hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet. I think probably what's happening is that they're going to try to make certain guns harder to get.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to that. I don't understand why if you go to a gun store, you have to go through a waiting period. But if you go to one of those gun shows, you can walk out with it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't make any sense. So obviously, gun laws need to be changed so it's uniform across the field. You know what I mean? So I don't know. As a gun owner, do you feel like guns are a problem in this country?
Absolutely.
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 Is it? Now, I remember when I was in high school, I took a public speaking course.
The real problem is cowardice.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Because you got all these soft guys that want to be Batman real bad.
So now all of a sudden they're going to arm up.
Yeah.
And that makes them less of a coward.
Now they're the Punisher.
Okay, I got you. Mm-hmm.
So is Hollywood to blame?
I think,
no.
I think partly. I mean, who didn't grow up? I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up. I mean, guns have always been in my visual ever since I was a little kid. Westerns. You know, I mean, some of my heroes growing up, John Wayne, all of them, all the people in Westerns and stuff like that.
But even with that, like, they only show them with like maybe 1 or 2 guns. It's not these guys that have, whole rooms,
a whole
full
arsenal.
of guns.
Right.
Or AK, whatever they are, that shoot.
I love a good AK. I love my AK.
Anyway.
You got 6 rounds.
Yeah.
You got a 6-shooter.
I got 30.
We've all heard that there are cities and states in our country that have really bad gun violence situations. Chicago is one of them, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the worst in the nation is Chicago.
And that's always been.
Well, it's been that way for a long time. I don't know that it's always been, but it's been that way for
100 years.
Yep. Well,
I mean, Chicago mobs.
Right.
They didn't hesitate to drive down the street and shoot people.
Right.
I don't think I'd ever carry a gun on me for self-defense, because I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I don't like that. I mean, look, I'm not a gun guy. When people find out that I was in the Marine Corps, they immediately think that I have a whole arsenal of guns too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like shooting the guns that I shot when I was in the Marine Corps. It was, it's just not my thing.
And like in a real fight, you're not gonna get to aim. It's not like a long drawn out thing.
Right.
It's over in a second.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna miss, and you're gonna hit something.
Yeah. Chances are you're going to miss the person that you meant to shoot and kill somebody, an innocent bystander.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Which brings me to this. So, residents of Rogers Park in Chicago are asking gangs to confine gun violence to the hours of darkness. Community activists say gang members are considering their request for a ceasefire between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. to reduce the risk of stray bullets. It's not like we can tell them to stop all in all, said resident Jamal Washington. It's baby steps. So they're accepting the fact that these gangs are going to keep shooting at each other, but now they're reaching out to the gangs and saying, hey, fellas, look, we get it. You're going to kill each other, okay? And pretty much we've decided that that's okay with us. But can you do it at night?
Well, what happened to a good knife fight?
Can you do it after 9 p.m.? Because, I mean, there are people like us that we don't have guns, we're not in gangs, and we don't want to catch a stray bullet just because you're shooting at, Jamal over here.
They should really go back to knife fighting.
Well, no.
I always have a knife. I bought mine because the guy who wrote the review said it was sharp enough to circumcise a spider. And I read that and I was sold.
Now that's sharp.
No. Clearwater Countryside High School. A 9th grader attacked 2 other children with a knife just yesterday. Stabbed 2 kids.
And what did I ask you?
What did you ask me?
I asked you, had he been being bullied by those 2?
And so far, we do not know.
Usually when these attacks happen, it's the victim of being bullied that goes back and does it.
They're weak.
He was a 9th grader.
This is a way of them getting power.
Stabbed a 9th grader and an 11th grader.
Just punch people.
At Clearwater High School.
It works very well.
Yeah, it works.
It'll change their attitude.
Real quick.
It gets their attention. You don't need a weapon.
I'm a proud supporter. I've hit many people.
Look at you. Tyson.
That's Tyrone to you.
Tylonius. So anyway.
I don't support hitting either.
No, but
I do.
It makes a statement.
Sometimes it needs to happen. Sometimes you need to get their attention.
Right. Yep. Let me say, before we get too much farther into this, that next week we'll be having Sarah Teeny Long and Scott from the Ernestine Black Band. So if you're listening to this show and you're wondering what's going to be up next week, well, that's what's going to be up.
You didn't do any of your dad jokes yet.
I don't have any.
Oh?
What are you doing?
I don't have any dad jokes this week.
How do you not have any dad jokes?
Well, I didn't see Gary Johnson many times this week. So,
Hurricane.
Hurricane. I told you, it's been a bad week, man. It's been a bad week. So
never forget.
And we still have 2 more weeks at least of peak hurricane season.
Right.
Stuff staying in the house.
Do you ever watch Weather Page Mike?
No. What is that?
He's on TikTok. He's this local guy that he's not like on any of the news channels or anything like that, but he's a guy who's like chases hurricanes and stuff like that, and he's.
It's another white guy.
Yeah, he's a white guy and he's pretty well versed he's pretty well versed in, all the meteorological stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's the
like
one that told
watching
me.
Twister.
He's the one that told me that
Which
Idalia
team
was
do you
coming.
want to be on?
I get all my news from the SpongeBob fish on TikTok. Have you seen that?
No.
You should see that. Breaking news, everyone.
Nice.
Here it comes. Bikini Bottom is coming to the top.
Right. All right, so we're down to it, and it's time for me to do these quotes. So the first quote says, "Someone asked me if I had plans for the fall. It took me a moment to realize they meant autumn, not the collapse of civilization."
Well, both are right up on us.
Right.
We live in Florida. We have no fall or autumn.
Here's a free marriage tip. Never ask your wife when dinner will be ready while she's mowing the lawn.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Best to be avoided.
Yeah, this one says, never follow a leader who is more in love with power than people.
Well, those are people who are leading.
Yeah, unfortunately. This one says, one of the most cowardly things ordinary people do is shut their eyes to facts.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And this one says, the last one says, being kissed while you're asleep is the purest form of love unless you're in prison.
Or you live alone.
Yeah.
Talk about haunted house. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those, yeah.
Yeah.
Way to take it dark, Ty.
Yeah. So, Ty, it's been great having you here on the show, and we
It's
talked
been
about
fun.
it, that we'd like to do this more often. And I promise you the next time you come on the show, I will have 4 hours worth of content. I will blow your mind.
Okay. Just as long as you sign the check.
Yeah, right.
Put that band together.
I'm trying. We'll see what happens.
I'm losing my mind.
Do you have any possible band names?
Not any that I can talk about.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Keep
Cool.
them quiet.
Yeah. Steph,
Can't wait.
do you have anything you want to add here at the end of the show?
I'm glad we're safe. I am sorry for everyone that was impacted by this storm.
Yeah.
Unless you deserved it.
And there were thousands of them up and down the
You know
state.
who you are.
Had it coming.
Happy Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Can't wait. 3 days.
Yep. Ty, any last words from you?
No.
Okay. Well, again, I'll say it was great having you on the show. I will say, Semper Fi, Devil Dogs, I miss you, Mom, and Duchess, it's about that time. I will also say that we are the Marker Radio Happy Hour Show. We really enjoy speaking with you every Friday evening, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week. Have a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Here is a little In Spite of Ourselves by John Prine and Iris Dement. Dig this, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
She don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down her nose at money. She gets it on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go.
He ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. Caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. He ain't too sharp, but he gets things done. Drinks his beer like it's oxygen. But he's my baby and I'm his honey. I'm never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, Honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. She thinks all my jokes are corny, convict movies and make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs, swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. She takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I'm never gonna let her go.
He's got more balls than a big brass monkey. He's whacked out weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon. Payday comes and he's a howling at the moon. But he's my baby, I don't mean maybe. I'm never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up a-sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up a-sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. In spite of ourselves.